President Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, had a busy first day of his European tour with meetings in London and Paris. In London, he held talks with Prime Minister Rishi Sunak and had an audience with King Charles. Sunak emphasized the need for Ukrainian pilots to learn to fly British fighter jets as soon as possible, and the plans to supply British aircraft to Ukraine are already being actively considered by the Minister of Defense of the United Kingdom, Ben Wallace. However, the Russian embassy in London reacted to the news and emphasized that the supply of aircraft to Ukraine will have serious consequences for the European continent and the world, both military and political. The Russian mission statement once again demonstrated Moscow's serious concern about European countries providing aid to Ukraine and supplying the country with modern weapons. Latvian leaders of Lithuania and Estonia called on the European Union to work on the confiscation of frozen Russian state assets to rebuild Ukraine before the European Union summit. The leaders turned to their colleagues with the demand to develop a procedure that would allow the confiscation of Russian money that is in Western banks and direct that money to the restoration of Ukrainian infrastructure. This move by the Baltic leaders shows the strong support from the European Union for the rebuilding of Ukraine and the determination to bring an end to the conflict. In addition to the support from the European Union, the president of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, emphasized the importance of effective and greater military aid from the Western allies. This military aid is crucial in ensuring that the Russians do not have time to organize an offensive and allow the possibility of de-occupation of the territories that were occupied by the Russian troops during the attack on Ukraine in 2014 to 2023. The president of the Russian Federation, Vladimir Putin, is now gravitating towards the need to occupy the entire Donetsk and Luhansk oblasts of Ukraine, which were initially recognized by the Russian Federation as independent states and later annexed together with two other Ukrainian oblasts, Kherson Oblast and Zaporizhia. The issue of Ukraine's recognition of the so-called territorial realities will remain the main demand of the Russian Federation even for a ceasefire. This must be a possibility that needs to be excluded so that Russia does not become the first country after the Second World War to prove to the world that international law is not relevant when force can be used to achieve your objectives. Ukraine must liberate its entire territory occupied by Russia, including Crimea, and put an end to the possibilities of violating international law in the modern world. The Russian Federation must receive a blow to its aggressive capabilities, and this blow must lead to the collapse of Vladimir Putin's regime in the near future. If this does not happen, it will be precisely these serious political consequences of the war and the ramifications for the entire European security that may turn the European continent into an arena of constant war of territorial claims by Russia.